Everybody knows that.
Again with the hand mission?
Everybody knows what that means. It's time. It's time. There's no pizza. There's no salad. There's no acid trip. There's no ladies and gentlemen. It's you and me and the quart of vodka. And ham. It's magic through wrestling.
That's the greatest app I think I've ever seen. It's like the worst and the greatest at the same time.
This is the most annoying thing ever.
What does your wife and family think about that?
They left the room.
They might leave the house for a while.
I think they're going to go to the and the race is on.
Oh man!
You know why the race is on?
Why is the race on?
We just started the race. This is the Maury and Bill show because once again, El Magico, El Stinko Magico Majestico is incognito.
That's right. Yeah. He's behind the green screen in your room.
Yeah, he put on the magic cloak. He thinks he's Harry Popper, and he's just sitting here watching us do the show.
And we were gonna record. We should say we were gonna record last night, but he was watching a David Blaine Magic special.
A bunch of episodes, a bunch of weeks back, a couple months back, episode 1A and 1B, whatever they were.
Yeah, whenever we hit this.
I took offense. I'm like, wait a minute, these guys are in cahoots against me. No, it's you trying to do a weekly podcast.
Yeah.
Your co-host, the magician Jimmy Rook, who thinks he's Freddie LaBamba, Desi Arnaz Jr., whatever that kid's name was.
Desi Arnaz Jr.
And then here it's me thinking I'm left out of the loop when there's no loop.
You're the only one in the loop.
I'm my own loop.
You're your own loop, and then I'm out of everybody else's loop. Because I'm like, oh, Jimmy, we're going to record tonight. Oh, David Blaine's got a magic special. I can't be bothered. Well, okay, tell that to all the fans waiting on our show.
I'm sitting there last night. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Is this because of wrestling? And then, no,
I know you texted that.
It's because of freaking Joey the Card Trick.
Yeah.
That he could DVR or watch any time.
It's on YouTube right now.
We got peoples. We got an audience. We got people expecting us to do things.
We got a show. And
we got Up the Grove sending us. When you send out on social media, hey, you got questions for the guys, shoot us the questions, we'll do the show. And then when I do the show, they go, screw your questions.
Exactly, yeah. Up the Grove, he's not a happy guy.
Randy Helms, I got messages from people on the old tweet machine.
Oh, I love the old tweet machine.
And
I'm going to move my camera here.
You know.
Unprofessional way. I hope it doesn't. It
might be dark here. He said, okay, so Randy Helms.
Okay.
Who's a great guy. You know I'm a music guy. So what are 3 bands or artists, either in the past or present, you have seen live and wish you could have or still in your bucket list?
Oh, okay.
So 3 bands or artists you have never seen live that you wish you could. This is going to be a good one. You go first. Pick one.
All right. It's like a twofer, okay? Because you have to make everything complicated.
Okay.
Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads, the greatest guitar player of all time.
Okay. My first pick, hands down, Elvis Presley.
That would have been...
hands down, Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Okay, your number 2 pick.
Led Zeppelin.
Wow. See, I'm a music guy, and we're in totally 2 different directions.
We're going
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I tell you what.
That's my number 2.
He would have been my number 3, but because you picked him and to keep this interesting, I'll go with my number 4, Johnny Cash.
Wow. You know, I look up, I think we talked about it one time. I have a picture, Johnny Cash. It was Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson, the Highwaymen. Wow. Well, Jody Christopherson trained with me years ago.
Really? I didn't know that.
And in the middle of the day, in comes walking Chris Christopherson.
While you're in training at Johnny Rod's?
No. While we were training at FCW in Tampa.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Blows my mind. So then I think to myself, that's far out. But that's not my number 3. My number 3 pick, going along, what the hell?
All right, don't be screen sharing us here.
Wait a minute. Don't you interrupt us now. We're on a roll. Number 3 pick, and then we're going to let you play if you decide to stay with us longer than 5 minutes. He's got like a Snuggie on. What has he got on?
I don't know, but I love it.
Okay. So my number 3 pick, Wayne Newton.
Wow. Hey, that's still possible to see him. He's got to go to Vegas.
I don't know if is he still doing it?
I thought he still performed in Vegas. I don't know. I watched Christmas or Las Vegas Vacation.
Speaking of Vegas, hey, big time.
Yeah, what's up, big time? How you doing?
I'm good, buddies. How you guys doing?
What do you got on, like a Snuggie? Are you in a log cabin? What the hell is that?
I am in my log cabin. I'm in a recliner. I'm relaxed. I'm watching TV.
Got the fireplace kicking.
Yeah.
8 o'clock Eastern time is the same everywhere.
Yeah.
It's Eastern.
On the eastern side of the world. Eastern.
Okay. All right.
Bill, is that a green screen in the background?
Yeah, because I figured
the green screen. Okay.
I had a great magic trick to start the show because I watched this amazing David Blaine special last night. And I thought about it for a minute. Went, screw that.
Well, are we watching the special more? Did you get to feed live? No, you didn't, did you?
I got it on YouTube, but it's in segments. Like they were all uploaded 18 hours ago.
You load it into the podcast?
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, all right. One job.
So that's a big fat no.
You had one job. That is a big fat no. So what?
Okay, so let's
what we can do is we could watch it and then I could put it in the video later.
Okay.
Or you could just tell people go watch it.
Or we could tell people. I thought it'd be fun to watch it with all of us.
You watched it last night and left me hanging.
Listen, it was at 10 o'clock. I thought it was at 8 o'clock. It's a prime time special.
What do we ever do at 10 o'clock at night?
You sleep.
I sleep.
You're in bed. This is late for you.
I'm trying to make things happen here.
You are. I'm impressed. So you're coming to creative what ideas now. This is impressive.
No. Okay, this is your only chance right now. We had a question on the Twitter machine this week.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Yeah.
Three groups or singers that you have never seen before that you would like to see. We know Desi Arnaz Jr. is number 1. We got it.
It's Richie Valens.
Oh, Richie Valens.
Richie Valens. Let's see. I've never seen. I would say Journey. Journey.
Okay. Of all time, Journey?
Journey.
You could hear them at every wedding ever.
No, but I want to see them live.
Yeah, okay. Well.
Okay.
And Elvis.
Oh, that's a good one.
Bill picked Elvis.
Yep.
I mean, you still have
alike.
So that's the only 2? Oh, no, you picked Desi Arnaz.
Richie Valens.
Wait. Ricky Arnaz or Ricky Valens?
Richie Valens.
Richie Valens.
Richie Valens. Who is this?
Journey.
Journey. Okay. All right. That's good. That's a good pick.
So we're on music.
Journey actually die?
No.
Somebody told me he did a while ago.
No, he left the group.
This is my wife who's added in, and then she's going to pull it up on the TV so we can watch it. The special.
Oh, that's great.
Watch what special?
There's like this magic special.
Bill, we just lost Bill. It's okay. Tell Chris, don't worry about it. I'm going to do a magic trick for you guys. How about that right now? You want to see a magic trick? I want to see a magic trick.
All right, I want to see a magic trick.
Because we are talking about the top 3 things of all time. Hold on, let me get a Let me get something to.
We'll do it next time.
Give me a second. I'm gonna disappear. Can you still see me?
Yeah, it's not a good trick.
Hang on.
I'm not sure I understand what's going on. I'm being punked again, ain't I?
Yes.
Whenever we want him to vanish, he doesn't vanish.
And all of a sudden he comes in, he goes, am I still here?
When we want him
Hold
for
on.
the show, he doesn't.
Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna play a little game. We're gonna do a magic trick for you guys live on the podcast. I'm just pulling something up here. Hang on.
If I can see it, I'm like squinting my way to 2020 here.
Okay, good.
I can't.
Okay. Where are we at?
My
It's
glasses.
just Frank on your screen.
Here we go. You ready?
Ready.
I have my calculator out right here.
Calculator.
Calculator, I can see it.
Yeah.
College
Do me
ruled.
a favor. I want you to give me I'm going to turn my. I want you to give me a random. Give me a 3-digit number. Give me a 3-digit number.
377.
We're going to multiply. Or I want you to give me a 3-digit number.
116.
And then I'm going to input a 3-digit number. And I'm going to hit equals. Hang on. Oh, my calculator froze. Son of a monkey.
This is not a good trick.
See, Bill, first he was going to vanish, and he didn't.
Okay. What was your number?
377.
377 times. Maury's yours was what?
116.
16 times. I'm going to put in mine. Okay. So we came up with a random number, a random number that out of all of our numbers multiplied. What son of a? Can you play that back? See what number it came up with?
It was no, I can't, but it was 8,000.
8,600.
What it was?
It was like 8,600 something.
There was a 1 in there.
And there was an H escape.
Rewind.
Take 2.
I can pause or stop.
Can you hear it?
No,
I'm half deaf. I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear anything? You don't hear anything?
No.
That's part of the trick.
Damn it. It was 8675339.
You do a card trick?
I don't have my cards.
Wow. Somebody's got to get that app off him.
we have to do that. Okay, so Bill.
All right, so you're trying to tell me that you plugged in these numbers in your calculator, dropped your calculator, didn't show us the numbers, led us to believe that the numbers were the equivalent of 8675309. Then you didn't play the song on your phone. And this is what you kids nowadays are calling magic. Wrestling is real. The world is
Look.
fake.
We'll do it again.
Okay.
Give me a 3-digit number. Random 3-digit number.
255.
255 times. Okay, Maury, give me the number.
616.
616. And I'm going to multiply it by my number.
What was your number?
What number? What was the number that came up? I don't remember.
422020.
Wait, what does it say?
422020.
422020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill, can you do me a favor, or more? Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, what you need?
I was going to do this today. I knew to do this trick today. Today, I was do this.
Today's date.
Bill, look at your phone. What's today? What is the date today?
Wow. You're right.
Today's date.
4-2.
All right, that one I like.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trick calculator, but I liked it anyway.
What's it say?
It's a trick calculator, but I liked
No.
it.
No, that is the regular Apple calculator on my phone.
Yeah.
So if I do the same thing,
If I was there with you live, I would do the same thing with your phone.
no, I do it with my phone.
Because he knows you'd delete the app.
255
I
times
just picked the rank.
616 times, what'd you say?
I just picked a random number. I can't even tell you what I picked. I hit numbers and hit equal.
It's 39270.
It was close. See?
You know what this is?
Well,
This is my weight if I lived on the moon.
I'm not gonna argue that one.
You got a bell?
At the hotel bell. Don't make me repeat my instruments.
So where's everybody doing? Where's Casey and Billy?
They're watching church.
You got a
Real.
switchblade?
He just pulled a switchblade.
I'm at my desk.
So why do you have a switchblade?
I have a plethora of knives.
I thought that was one of those combs that pop out.
Oh no! This will comb your veins.
Yeah, he'll tug at your heart with that one.
I'm an eclectic grouping of things.
You do more. Have you ever been to Bill's house?
No, he won't let me over. The door, the gate guy won't let me in.
It's probably a good thing. The restraining order's still in effect.
The gate. You're the only guy the gate guy won't let in.
I never have to call the gate.
Yeah, you just cruise on in.
I have an eclectic. Like if you look around, there's weapons from every century. There's
You have as many weapons as New Jack. Topical.
no. How was that? Did you watch that?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it for free because we don't have cable. We have every streaming platform known to man. It was all right. You know, I don't think it was anything special. I mean,
Yeah.
every other interview with him, you could have gotten all the same stuff.
Yeah, I don't like I knew him. I know him. I mean, I don't.
So kind of topical about the show. I saw Dark Side of the Ring. You know, and they had a couple of good episodes. They did an episode on Chris Benoit.
Yeah,
I watched that.
Episode.
That was episode 1 of season 2. New Jack was the new one.
Yeah, I haven't seen New Jack yet. So here's my thing. WWE has basically erased certain people out of existence. Right?
Yeah.
Bill, what is your thought of them erasing certain people? Like, I understand. I don't want to say understand, but the facts are, no matter how much you edit the main event of WrestleMania 20, it was still the main event of WrestleMania 20. You still had, still in the history books. How does that
history?
What's your thoughts?
I think wrestling's different than I look at and not to compare the two at all. I look at Pete Rose not being in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
What Pete Rose did on the field is how he was judged and or made his name. He bet on baseball games. Not on his baseball games, but he bet on baseball games.
Yep.
So they said he was a cheater. He was so they banished Pete Rose from the game of baseball. You can't erase his career. I guess I feel the same way. I mean, you're talking about you're not talking about two different people. You're talking about the same guy. I watched the what is it called? Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched last season's too. And I watched it because I'm particularly interested in how do I say, fortunately and unfortunately, I know a bunch of these men and or women. And then you only know so much about them from the time you spend with them on the road and if you have a personal relationship. And so it's very interesting to see other people's take on what it was. My thing with the Benoit story was, Chris and I were supposed to meet for lunch that day. Now I came home from off the road with big Scott Norton. And Scott Norton and I got home, and I was supposed to go meet Chris for lunch.
That's Friday or weekend or
yeah.
That's
Was
never
it
happened before.
Sunday?
Let's believe
No, it was a week. Yeah. The show was on Sunday that he missed.
Yeah. So we were supposed to meet for lunch because Chris would come down to Deep South with and they trained. We trained together, and when he had time off, him because he knows we could bump around, and the place was closed, it'd just be him and me, and nobody to interrupt and stuff like that. So I was actually one of the last 4 phone calls on his phone, to where the police and legal teams and everybody were calling me, wanting to know what we talked about, and I didn't think it was their business, whatever the case was. So I just chose to. I mean, we had Lacey and I were just talking about this because she said, remember when CNN was at the front door and Fox, and people were at our front door waiting to talk to him because,
right.
I was one of the last 4 guys on his phone. So they want to try to, and rightfully so, they're trying to contact everybody who had contact with him. I think it's just, I don't have, there's no conversation to be had about what happened. It's despicable and all that stuff. And I think that's the problem is people go, well, how do you feel about the wrestling part of it? Wrestling was wrestling. The problem I have with it is when you bring your life into wrestling and one carries over into the other, you let people in. We let people into our lives. Yeah. Much like, I don't think a lot of movie stars do that because they go home and they play a different character every movie or whatever. I think some, let's say, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, could be maybe Johnny Carson. He let people into his life, and as I got Lacey in the background, and she doesn't say hi, she just walks in and out.
I was trying to be discreet.
Discreet? You like live TV. So I think it's hard. I think you can do whatever you want in Vince's mind and the WWE's family's mind and everything. The things that weighed it out and how it came about was you don't belong there. The flip side for a different conversation, maybe for a different time, is go through your Hall of Fame. Mike Tyson is a convicted rapist.
Yeah.
Not judging, not throwing stones,
Sure.
I'm just saying,
you look at
all things being
equal.
If all things being equal, what Hogan went through for the longest time, being erased and then being allowed back in, and and it's money and opportunities and things like that. So I think nothing justifies any of that. I thought the special was interesting as far as that side goes. As far as I don't have any feelings about being erased or not, because I choose to just I guess I choose not to
Frozen there, Bill.
Did we lose him for a minute?
Yeah, we lost him for a minute. But to kind of piggyback on Chester Hall of Fame, I mean, Jimmy Snuka, he was a murder suspect, and he was inducted in '96, still in the Hall of Fame. So I think that I think there's room, like Bill is saying, to
do some housekeeping.
We lost you for a minute right at the end.
Yeah.
What I said, but I said to piggyback off what you said, like, let's look at Jimmy Snuka, who was, wanted a question for murder.
Yeah.
But, there is same type of thing. Now, let's take what happened out of Chris Benoit. Let's just talk about Chris Benoit, the wrestler. Right?
Hall of Fame.
That was my question. Do you think he's had a Hall of Fame career?
Hall of Fame.
Maury?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so tough because from a fan perspective, like, he has my favorite match of all time in wrestling. one of my favorite wrestlers ever. So it's so hard that you can't publicly say, hey, I'm a Chris Benoit fan, because it's so taboo at this point.
And people took it because we came into everybody's living room every night and every week. And I don't mean to say you guys. I just say you guys as being a former, a former one. So you guys, the public, became personally invested in every guy, every character, everything. So when all this stuff happens, it happened to you. It happened with you. It happened, So everybody, it opens the doors for everybody to have an opinion.
I remember when he won the World Heavyweight Championship in WCW, and then it was overturned the next night, and then it
left
in WWE. That just a beautiful moment with him and Eddie Guerrero at the end of WrestleMania. Just what a wonderful, wonderful moment. And I just don't know. You always see the photos of Eddie winning the world title at WrestleMania, the heavyweight championship or undisputed title, whatever it was at the time. But you don't ever see that moment of him and Chris. And I think that was a big moment for wrestling, because if I'm not mistaken, that was the first time two WCW guys came into WrestleMania and both walked out world heavyweight champions.
It wasn't the WCW thing. It was the thing of two smaller men.
Yes. Yeah. That should never have been in that picture.
Right.
Well, in certain people's minds, didn't fit that mold. But in the fans' minds, almost like very similar, like a Daniel Bryan.
Right.
And I think they opened the door for the people like Daniel Bryan.
Sure.
But the people like the Seth Rollins.
But so what's funny, and I don't mean it's a phrase, right? We know what's funny. It's not funny, ha funny. But who's the one guy that wasn't talked about the whole time
during the special?
Sure, and you were talking about Eddie, so you had Chavo there.
Yep.
But you had Jericho there, talking about it. You had Malenko there. And of course, they were showing stuff about Benoit. Who weren't they talking about or showing, or did
Perry Saturn?
Yeah.
Which was weird, because he was like their guy coming
because in. Perry Saturn, So look at it. Jericho. Who went first? Jericho or Big Show? Big Show.
Big Show went first because
Big Show went. That was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that was huge.
Then Jericho goes. To a lot of people, myself included, that caliber of talent, that was a huge deal. Then knowing Eddie and Dean and Chris and Perry, and how it was so funny how Perry got grouped into that. But knowing how that happened, when they left, it was a huge deal. But you look at what happened with Perry Saturn's career and life and everything since. Why? Because someone fell on bad times and, had all these problems and has kicked out of it so many times and tried and it's done better and then, falls back into problems. Why are they forgotten about?
Yeah.
So that's why when everybody watches these things, I sit there and go, why was this guy not acknowledged or part of it? He was part of the Radicals. He was part of that movement. Because naturally you had.
I got a better one for you.
Three of the best.
Yeah, for sure.
In Malenko, Guerrero, and naturally, and I don't think anybody would say, I don't think Dean lived up to the hype as well either.
Not in WWE.
But
no, I love Dean in WCW.
But Dean's mind and Dean's performance and his career in WWE was just as high as everything else from backstage.
One of my favorite moves as a fan was the Texas Cloverleaf.
Yeah, I mean,
they stood on my brothers all the time.
I did too.
Okay, I got one for you.
Nobody's better than Dean, but we never heard. I sat there the whole time and went, man, nobody ever talks about Perry anymore.
You know who else got kind of blacklisted for no real reason, but they never talk about him, is Draws. Darren Drozdov.
No, Draws was always in the back.
But I mean, like, he's never mentioned. He's never a part of anything.
But I want to say, and I don't know for sure, so don't hold me to it.
Okay.
But I for years seeing Draws when he was in better shape and everything.
Yeah.
Draws didn't want to be seen that way.
Okay, that makes sense then.
You know what I mean? And like his family and stuff who came with him, and he was always in the back. And what a good brother, and I think the world of him. When I got to see him, it was always great to see him be around. But I don't think he didn't want to be seen that way. I mean, here's a guy who was a professional athlete,
football player first,
yeah,
turned wrestler.
Did all these things, these accolades, and one thing, turned his whole life around like that. And I don't think he wanted that part of it to be tough. But he wasn't ever, to my knowledge, he was never blackballed or anything like that.
All right, so I got one for you. I got two little more real quick. Is this going to time out after 30 minutes or?
It is. I just don't know where we're at on the timestamp here. We're at 9:12. We started at like 8:40, so probably getting there.
Okay. So let me throw this out there. I got a serious one, and then I think a kind of funny one. So we'll go I think first. So because that'll be quicker. So if time's out, we can just come back to it. Give me your top three. Favorite or worst gimmick wrestlers.
Top.
And when I say like gimmick, right, I'm talking like here's mine, right? Like when I see gimmick wrestlers, right, I look at Duke the Drumster Drosy. I look at the Shockmaster. I look at
Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown. Yes. Okay. So who your favorites and worst? Give me your favorite and worst.
The worst is Chains.
Who's Chains?
He's the guy who he came out in like a convict orange jumpsuit and
Nails.
Nails. Why did I say Chain? Yeah, Nails.
Oh, jeez, Luke. Wait a minute. Where's my knife?
Are you gonna reenact him?
Yeah.
You just got to go like accuse Vince McMahon of touching you.
Blah blah blah. My favorite character of all time, George the Animal Steel.
Ooh, yeah. Great.
My least favorite is Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
Why?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Because he's not my least favorite.
Conversation.
He's not my least favorite. We had the same tryout at WWF. And I think I had a total of like maybe 3 tryouts at different times. And I was brought in by Jerry Jarrett. And he called me up and he said, I got you for the weekend. These 3 dates, you're going to work. And at that time, the matches were written down on a chalkboard.
Oh, wow.
And there were 80 matches written down. And as they were done, they'd erase them. And you'd see your name, and all of a sudden your name would be moved farther down. Or your name would be erased. But you never got out of your gear, you never got out of your character, whatever else, you waited. So anyway, Duke the Dumpster Drosy and I had the same tryout week. I had a lot of buds up there at the time. Bigelow and Luna Vachon were up there, and a lot of my peeps. So they said, do your thing. So Bigelow says, you're going to do that damn flip?
Mm.
And I said, yeah. And I said, why, are you thinking about doing it? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, you go to the side. I just go over the top. And so we were laughing about that. So Duke the Dumpster goes out before me and wrestles, she's a Lou. I forget his name. Anyway, so Dumpster goes to the top rope for a frog splash. He sets him, or it was a headbutt, whatever.
I was going to say, I can't see him do a frog splash.
So he set him 3/4 on the other side of the ring and went to the wrong corner.
Oh,
so
wow.
as he's going, like, I'm all uptight, I'm all uptight anyway because I know I'm next. So I'm watching to see what he does. So the match is, fair to Midland at best. And he slams him, and he walks all the way across to the far corner. And he starts climbing. So now all the veterans are going, what the fuck is he thinking? This should be beautiful. And then all the vets are sitting there. And I'm going to myself, uh-oh. Well, he goes to jump. And he jumps as hard as he can. And he barely leaves the ropes and falls down.
Wow.
Onto all fours. Once he lands on all fours, he does a frog jump like a ribbit, a leapfrog, and then headbutts him from there.
Wow.
The place comes now, when I say the place comes unglued, back behind the curtain comes unglued. They're peeing themselves. You got the Lugers and the Tonkas and everybody and their mother is watching this thing. I got goosebumps thinking about it. I'm thinking to myself, well, here I go. A ging, take a couple bumps, a ging of big band stuff, super zoop, boom, jump to the top rope from the apron. So I skin it, boom, hit the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Place comes unglued.
Wow.
Jerry Jarrett left the WWF that night. They hired Duke the Dumpster Droese, and I never heard from them again. And I went, what? What the hell? What the hell just happened?
What just happened?
The drop down frog splash is what.
So Bigelow, I remember seeing Bigelow, and he goes, when do you start? When do you get the job? I said, Droese got the job.
Wow.
So while I guess that was my first time of really wrestling jealousy going, the one time I could say, I know I'm better than that guy. Crap.
So, Maury, you got to find the clip of that or find a clip of Duke and put this overlaid into the thing. So, you want to take a guess? I'm gonna give you each a guess.
It's got to be Shawn Michaels.
No, gimmick wrestler.
Wait,
Gimmick.
favorite or most hated?
This is my favorite. He's one of the same. It's the same for both. Right?
Gobbledygooker.
No.
That was what I was going to say.
No. You're both wrong. Fantasio.
Who's Fantasio?
I don't even remember him.
He had like
Barely.
in WWF.
With the thing?
He was a magician wrestler.
Rotten, yeah.
Wow.
He came out, did an appearing cane, did a couple of different things. He was
Yeah.
I loved it and I hated him at the exact same time.
Yeah, rotten.
Like, this is horrific and this is amazing. All of it.
Brutal.
So, Maury, I know we just updated to unlimited minutes. So I did Crystal. Do we not pay for this? Is that what message that said your host is upgraded and you have unlimited minutes now?
Oh. It hasn't kicked us off the half-hour mark. So
No, I got the same message. It said your host has unlimited minutes.
Was that you, Frank?
No, I haven't done anything. I was going to say, because I was looking forward to the half-hour mark to take a quick break.
Wait a minute. You missed the first 10 minutes.
Frank had dinner a little while ago.
Frank, pee in a bottle. No one can see it.
He wanted to come in late and then take a break early.
Well, I'll tell you what. You continue. I will be right back.
All right.
Maury, tell me, this is unbelievable. Where's Maury?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see. Okay, give me your favorite gimmick and your least favorite gimmick.
Okay, I'm gonna give you
He's my least favorite gimmick.
He's my least favorite gimmick in life. Let me tell you. I love you, Jimmy. Okay.
Right, I can still hear you. Like
because you're in the bathroom right now.
Yeah, what are you still doing here? Come on. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my least favorite because maybe you could shed some light on this guy. Okay, so my least favorite is Hacksaw Jim Duggan because I don't understand the character.
His wife's a hoe. Oh no, that's not it. No, sorry.
Okay,
That was not it.
Because the face he makes, it's like I love early days Jim Duggan. There you go. The
because
early Duggan where he was more serious, he was badass.
I liked, but that was the change. Was he became that guy, like when he cut his promos, a tough guy, because he was like the big burly gentle giant.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing, was that the tongue out and the hoe, and because you can't, I think at the time, and you know better than me, the time when USA champs were going for Sergeant Slaughter and those guys, Corporal Kirshner, Sergeant Slaughter, all that stuff. So by the time the hoe and the 2x4 really came in, was, well, what's the gimmick? Much like George Steele, but like those things. So I think that was his. And they chanted USA, and he went ho, and everybody went ho, which down the line turned into what, and everybody's saying what.
Exactly. Yep.
But always funny. Like, I think everybody probably have a different answer of what ho means. I don't know, but it was over like a son of a gun.
Me and my friends, we'd always say, like, is he going for, like, is he trying to be like goofy? Because he was such a good wrestler, but he almost had like the faces he made him look like.
And even the way he walked and did stuff, he was like the big goofy kind of.
Yeah, it was.
And I think that's what they wanted from him for a long time.
He almost had like the bushwhacker swing for a little.
Yes, bit. And then in WCW later on, when they wanted to make him a little bit more serious. Remember when they got him to go to Team Canada?
Yeah. Oh my God.
And shave. Hey, buddy, you talk about a fight. Because they made him believe that this was going to be the thing that made him a serious contender, a serious, and he knew in his gut it wasn't right.
Yeah.
But so he was your least favorite gimmick, really?
Just because I didn't understand it.
Right.
I can understand the really out there ones.
Yeah.
Maybe not Shockmaster, but I don't think anybody understood that one.
What's your favorite then?
It's so tough. Probably Kane. I just have always loved the character development they put into that. They went all the way up until 2003 before they took his mask off. He came in 97, late 96.
Such a fan of Mondo Guerrero.
Okay.
Used to work with now I'm going to say blow-up doll. I'm not trying to be funny. But he had a mannequin, like a blow-up doll.
Okay.
Was his partner, was his sidekick, was his mistress, was his girlfriend. And everywhere he went, he had because Mondo Guerrero was a little crazy as a character. And as you know, back then you worked your character 24 hours a day. So I remember seeing this and hearing it and hearing the stories. And so when I went as Hugh Morris, I approached Mondo, who became a big stunt coordinator in Hollywood. And, I love the Guerreros. And I asked him, I said, could I use it? And he was like, you serious? I'm like, yeah. I wanted to take a dummy with me everywhere I went.
That would have fit your character so
have conversations in the locker room, have to have a plane ticket for it, have to have everything for it. I wanted to do it, and the company wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, that would have been genius for your character.
And I was sitting there going, wow, because I was really into it. I was like, wow, I could make this work.
That would have been epic.
Yeah, I think early on characters were I'll tell you who like the Great Kabuki, who was the Missing Link was a great one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good characters, and then we got really weird when we got into the Vince era and the WWF, and some of it got really weird. I mean, you had the Corporal Kirshners, you had the things that were still good, and I think then when you started to get into that around that Hillbilly Jim and Uncle Luke and all those guys started coming around,
the Bushwhackers, like
but what a great gimmick!
I love those guys. Like
gimmick, two gimmicks were the Rockers were a gimmick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many gimmicks did freaking Big Daddy Cool have?
too many. Yeah, he really pulled them off though.
Yeah.
Well, even I've always been a Diesel fan.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Me and my friends were talking the other day, or were we talking about? No, I was talking in a group, and somebody thought that I had said I was a big Sid Vicious fan, and I was like, no, why would you think that? And they're like, that you said. I said I was a Diesel fan. I said Sid's like Diesel Light, you know. Whenever you watch him back in the day, although he has the best promo with the half the brains that you do. If you
Oh my
that
God!
one. Have you ever
He
seen
was
that promo?
intense cutting promos. Yeah.
That was the best with Hall and Nash.
I just saw what was I just watching? I was just watching Mean Gene bloopers.
Oh, where he curses at the sign falling
And just and then so it made me start thinking about all the times with Gene, because he picked the guys that he'd do the regions with.
okay.
So you do different regions, like Minnesota. We're coming here and this there. So I was used for a lot of that stuff, which I appreciate. It gave me opportunity to speak, stay in front of the cameras. And then when we got to those areas, people would use me on media days and stuff. But working with Gene was so funny.
That had to. What was he like backstage?
That guy was like he was a rock star in his own right.
I can imagine. We're talking about Mean
Look
Gene.
at this guy. What is wrong with him?
Diesel.
I
Yeah, I love that thing.
didn't notice you without the leather pants with the tassels on them.
No.
Those are in the closet for later.
No.
I borrowed them from Bill.
La. That's it. Give him characters.
Yeah, Diesel. I love Big Daddy Cool. So I heard you mention the Bushwhackers, right? So I was up early, and it was just this morning. It was like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and TBS. If you didn't know, TBS is playing Family Matters, which brings me right back to my childhood.
Oh.
Right? And
Who's
this
Family Matters? Urkel?
Urkel,
Steve
yeah.
Urkel.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I do that? Which is funny because you mentioned Urkel today, and people are like, who the hell's Steve Urkel? Nobody knows who that is. First laughing at it.
Bad.
Yeah. So this morning's episode was Carl and Steve in a tag against the Bushwhackers.
I remember that. Yeah.
I did too. I remember it used to be fun to watch all those episodes and see the crossover. That Boy Meets World had Vader.
With Vader.
Yeah. I think Mankind was in it too.
He was in whenever they were in college, and
Yeah.
the girls and the boys wanted to fight over the dorm,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then he facilitated
Yeah.
the match.
What
It feels like, oh, no, you guys are talking
What
about
was that show? Big Thunder Island or something?
Thunder in Paradise with Hall?
Thunder in Paradise. That's what it was.
Bill, get away from the TV.
Yeah,
I'm watching my son play a video game, and his nose is touching the damn TV.
Is it the video game that you're in?
Is it?
No, because he says he plays the when he trains with me, I'm yelling at him, and then I yell at him when he gets off the game.
Well, it's one of the,
He says it's very realistic.
it's like
Yeah, you like that. I know you do.
it's like living with you in 3D.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what I've been up to this week.
Yeah, I was
All right.
going to get to that because we've all been on like a lockdown here.
So this week, revamping presentations, doing all these things, trying to get ready for stuff that's coming up. But I start every day watching a Dean Martin's roast.
Wow.
I challenge you to where if you want to get in some good old-fashioned humor, make you laugh, can't believe what you're sitting there watching, YouTube Dean Martin roasts, and they roast everybody under the sun.
I'll watch it. I'll
I'm
start.
putting it in my phone right now, so I have it.
So I that's how I start every day. So now I've got Lacey watching it.
He's got Red Fox on one of them.
Oh, he does them all.
I love him.
He does them all, and yeah, I just think it's so when you're trying to find things to do now. So that's my thing. I used to watch whatever. So I put on YouTube and I watch Dean Martin roasts. I watch a roast. It makes me laugh. Time to go to work.
That's awesome.
I'm excited. I'm going to be watching a series I haven't seen in a long time. Third Watch. You ever hear of it?
Heard of it. I've never seen it.
It was in the
Third
late
watch.
90s. The late 90s, like 99 to like 2005. It was on NBC. Was the third watch, so the afternoon shift of the New York Police Department, New York Fire Department, and EMS. And they follow, these characters.
Oh,
Good show, and came off TV many years ago, probably 15 years ago. But they did like 6 or 7 seasons, I think 6 seasons. And I found 5 of the 6 seasons I had on a hard drive, and I just found it.
Nice.
So
How
I'm
about
excited
this?
to watch that.
how about we're on the cutting edge of all this? Because I think we started the Cuernavaca thing about 2 weeks before it really got hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And
We were talking about it pretty early.
no matter what show you turn on, Jimmy Kimmel's doing a show from home.
Yeah, Conan
We're
O'Brien.
doing a show from home.
Everybody's doing their shows from home.
Yep.
And so I say we were on the cutting edge and we missed it again.
No, they got the idea from us.
People are watching episode 3A.
That's
Yeah.
it. Hey, I got a show you guys need to watch. We actually want to watch this together. Tiger King on Netflix. Do you guys know about this?
Is this the
Burgess?
guy? What? Come on.
Like the white trash guy?
Why are we putting this guy over?
Listen, Bill, we're going to watch it with you when this is all over.
Yeah, I think it's terrible, but it's just for your reactions, Bill. Oh my gosh,
But why are we putting this guy over?
I don't know.
we're
It's
gonna
really
set-
weird that he's so popular because
He's a gay,
that's my wife.
gun-toting redneck who owns tigers and gets straight men to marry him with meth.
There you go.
And that fits into my wheelhouse.
It's so bad, it's awesome. Hey, there's
And then he puts a
there's
hit out.
murder.
Yeah, then he puts a hit out on this lady that everybody's obsessed with because she killed her husband allegedly, and then fed him to the tigers. I mean, it's a whole thing, man.
I don't know.
Just watch at least one episode and come back to us.
I
One
don't-
episode.
I'm trying to put myself in a happy place.
You will feel very happy.
I don't know if you'll feel very
You
good.
will feel happy.
I don't even like the description of why.
If you like tigers in general,
You could have said anything else, and you went gay, ton-toting, tiger,
Mullet,
licking, wife killing.
Yeah, it's
what do tigers dream of when they take a little tiger snooze? Do they dream of mauling zebras or Halle Berry in a Catwoman suit?
what was that?
You know what that's from? That's from
Oh,
The
no.
Hangover.
That's what my wife just said. I never. Really,
Why? Okay, wait a minute. This tiger thing's really got me upset.
It's,
That's how all of America feels after watching it.
what's his name? Joe.
Why were the 6 orphans walking in circles in the dark?
Why?
Because they couldn't find their way home.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hashtag home.
Where everybody is sequestered to right now.
Okay, so let's get this straight. I figured out the toilet paper thing
What? Okay, what do you mean you figure out everything?
because for weeks we've been trying to figure out what the toilet paper thing is.
Oh yeah, why everybody's
And
obsessed?
I'm going to talk about this again, not only here tonight on this. I'm going to talk about it on the Build to My Experience Saturday night with my family because I'm going to get Casey's input. But you know why there's no toilet paper, right?
Why?
Because everybody, and I mean everybody, waits to go to their job or school before they drop a deuce so they don't do it in their own house. So now they had fear of being in their own house, and then they go, my God, I got to buy my own toilet paper. They never done this before. So now all these slobovias, all these ham and eggers, all these Jim Dandies that went to work in these office buildings in slacks and all these mamacitas in these dresses and these nurses and everybody else, they all wait to go to work to drop a deuce. not because they got to crap in their own home.
I don't
They
know.
need the
Bill.
ass paper.
I have a fear of public bathrooms, so.
Boss make a dollar, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Nah.
I really do.
So-
have a fear of public
Right
bathrooms.
there.
It's a phobia.
Who was that? Was that Billy?
Which one? Hold on, I'm gonna drop a hashtag tonight.
Hopefully, he's making fun of not the guy with the big crooked nose with the squinty eyes and the long hair.
Tell me what it is.
All right, so to set the bar,
Okay.
I don't need
Sidebar.
back. Okay,
Sidebar.
I'm glad you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did we clear up the toilet paper thing?
We cleared it up.
Like I said, I have a fear of public bathrooms. That one doesn't really work for me.
So you
Oh.
say no to that theory?
I agree with Bill. I support your theory.
It's a
I'm going to talk to
50-50
Casey about this. Your mama is so fat. You hear Casey yelling from the other room? Your mama
Don't
is
do
so
it.
fat that when she steps on the scale, it's her phone number.
8675309.
Phone number. Phone number. Hashtag phone number.
Hashtag phone number. I love it.
Dad, you messed up.
That was stupid. Shut up and do your own show.
You messed up.
You messed up. How did he mess up?
I messed that
You
up.
said the wrong words.
What do you mean the wrong words?
Billy, come show us how it's done.
You want to tell the joke?
What the promo?
Cut a promo, Billy.
Oh boy.
Cut a promo on Maury.
You can do it. I'm an easy target.
You can't do it.
Big crooked nose gives it away.
All right. So what did you? I'm glad we got the music question out of the way from Randy Helms today. Thank you for the Twitter
Thank
machine.
you for the question.
So I got one more little topic for you guys, and I don't think we talked about it before, but let's throw it out at you. Being that, and I think it's kind of topical. The word is now, the state of Florida is on a lockdown. Nobody can leave. Nobody can do anywhere or go anywhere. Probably going to put a halt to WWE's production.
Yep.
Because they can't.
Right.
So they're going to have to start airing other things. Talking about like the show must go on and things like that. Empty arena shows. Can you think of any time that they should have stopped a show but chose to continue? One comes to my mind. I
Like-
want your thoughts on that one.
During this pandemic or like in general?
Ever.
Oh, man. Well, I mean,
Comes to my mind.
they should have stopped Over the Edge with Owen Hart. I think that's pretty obvious. That's probably
that's the
the one. 9/11, I think, is a toss-up. I think you can make a case.
Like, with Owen Hart, they were in the middle of the show, middle of pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Bill, what would have been, logistically speaking, on the back end of that?
I think the biggest part of that was you're asking people. Like I want to say this the right way. So like this to me is a serious moment. You're asking people. You're asking human beings that are in an arena, not millions of people that are watching. You're asking the people that are in the arena as this happens, people that have watched this happen, to make a decision. You know what I mean? And I think the only thing that came to mind was, my God, keep going. It wasn't, and because that's what everybody gives their theory of. Yeah, it's just I don't know what the reflex would have been.
Just just keep going. Like that's the reflex.
Well, what do you mean keep going? I don't know what to do. We do something while we tend to what really just happened.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? I don't ever think at one time there's a thing of, well, it's a show and the show must go on. I think that was for people to build the layer and build the mystique of the presence after, because I know so many people that were in that building and watched it happen and had no idea what they just saw. And I know a lot of people criticize WWE or WWF at the time for making the show go on. A lot of people, the show goes on no matter what. I wasn't there. I have no skin in the game, but I'd almost say you're asking a bunch of human beings, and everybody on this show right now has been in a position where there's been something horrible that's happened. And whatever's on your mind first is usually what you say or however you react first until you have time to digest it. I think if there was time to digest the whole thing, it would have been done differently. I know a lot of people criticize it for letting the show go on, but I don't think there was ever a question of what do we do? One guy. And at that time, it was one guy who had to put his arms around thousands and make sure they're okay. You know, does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was live. It wasn't a taping.
It was live.
So that's even harder.
I know, I've been in moments where, I've had near-death experiences service where if it worked out one way, but if it didn't work out that way, it would have been very, very different situation.
Sure.
And I remember my major at the time calling me back into work the very next day. I had a couple hours off. He called me back into work the next day. He said, you're coming back in. I said, well, why? And he said, because you need to get back on the horse right away. If you sit and process, right, it's going to get to you, but you need to do it. I get what they're saying. On a law enforcement standpoint, whenever we have an accidental death, we have to do an investigation. Now, I don't know, on the law enforcement side, what it was like in Kansas City at the time, but it's one of those things where I may have, if I was the investigator, made the call to say, no, this is shut down. This is not a law enforcement scene. We have to do the investigation. We're going to take pictures. We're going to need flowers, right? There's a lot of things that.
And I know they were there for that the whole night.
Yeah, but you in my mind, if the ring part of the crime scene, and obviously we know it's an accident, right? But you don't know until you can prove it on the law enforcement side. So the ring being a crime scene until it's not a crime scene, I would not want to contaminate that scene by having people run around the ring.
So refresh my memory. How much longer did that show go on?
I think it was the fourth or fifth match on the card.
I want to say there was another hour and a half left on the show.
So it was against Godfather, and I know there were at least like 4 or 5 matches after.
Oh, so it was a halfway point or something.
Right about the halfway, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I think much like anything else, there's no better profession than wrestling or sports entertainment, to where folklore gets bigger and better every year, and as people tell the story, they embellish and stuff like that. But I don't think at any point it was like, nope, the show must go on. I think it was one of those things like somebody made a call of this is what it is. And it's always the same guy who stands by those calls, come hell or high water. But I was, listen, we were watching because that's what we did. We were watching them when they were watching us, and watched it and went. So I remember the first time going into Kansas City when we worked that arena, it was all the boys had a very weird.
Did that put any extra weight on WCW's production with Sting coming out?
Yeah, there was a lot of questions. There was a lot of things, and Sting was pretty careful guy, and he was up for anything, but it had to be done the right way and had to be careful. And so I know a lot of that stuff stopped for a while after that too.
Yeah.
So horrible.
Anyway, listen, I think we probably about hit our hour. I'm looking at the time correctly here.
Yeah, we're right at that point.
Yeah, I think
Jimmy's like, I've had enough.
No, I've had a great listen. This was actually a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys listening at home or watching at home enjoyed it too. We're here to keep you company during this massive pandemic. We're here for you. If we can be a smile on your face for you, while you're home, please stay home. Please, I got asthma. I can't afford to get this thing.
Come on, man. I mean, I heard that now they're checking IDs.
Yeah,
if you're not from Florida,
turn around.
They're turning you around.
Is that why there was that big jam up on the highway the one day?
Yeah.
They're literally stopping you now. If you don't belong here, you're not coming.
Yeah, please. We're about, apparently, all the reports saying Florida's about 3 weeks away from the real peak of this.
Oh, yeah, because it takes up to 17 days.
But then it should plummet after that. So, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but then it'll get better hopefully soon.
God bless the police, the first responders, the nurses, the doctors,
Thank
the
all
people doing the testing, those cats out there driving the supplies. Yeah. Everybody who's doing their
thing. Real deal there.
And if you really want to help someone, stay home,
please. So, on that note, it's been another great episode. We'll come to you again next week. Who knows? We got time. Maybe we'll do two a week from now on. Who knows?
This is a bonus episode this week.
We'll see.
Wait, bonus means we getting paid?
Yeah, Bill, checks in the mail. Checks in the mail. It's from the U.S. government. It's
wow.
Thank you. So anyway, guys, it's been great. It's been real.
It's been so good that Jimmy just cut out on his outro.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been real.
Bill, you might have to get us out of here with one of your sounds over there.
My brother, here's the sound of the night. Whoop, 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 whoop. Thank you, brother. Be safe.
See ya.